What's up, good people? It's your boy Lloyd Knows checking back in with y'all after watching another episode 4 of Mr. Inbetween. And I appreciate y'all watching my Mr. Inbetween premiere video. I see the views are climbing, so y'all must want me to talk more about Mr. Inbetween. So let's get back into it, man. So this is episode 4, and I do apologize that I didn't give y'all my thoughts about what happened on episode 3, but I'm just gonna give it to you right now. So episode 3, which premiered last week, was an episode particularly about, mental health, I would say. Um, as mental health is really relevant, as y'all have seen in my previous video. Nowadays, mental health is really relevant, and it was very relevant because we got to see Ray's dad for the first time. I don't know in the previous seasons if we've actually seen Ray's dad. I mean, we've seen his ex-wife, or mother of his child. Obviously his daughters. His daughters, plays a big role in the show, especially in episode 4. She plays a huge role. His ex-girlfriend, who we find out is now pregnant, and seeming like she's happy. It's got Ray thinking like what could have been, but it's a big episode about mental health because we see Ray's dad, and he has mental health issues. So, just dealing with that ordeal, and still dealing with the death of his brother Brucey, and the effects of that, and how he had health issues in his own right. Ray's mentally is going through a lot. So he's probably questioning what is he doing at this stage in his life. Is this really for him? And introducing his dad into the episode and into the season was very very welcoming. Something that was very needed and necessary to complete this picture of Ray in his life, man. Just being stuck in between, trying to live the family man good life, the honest life, versus living this corrupt, crooked, bad guy life, that hitman life, So I thought it was a good episode, and it was more lighthearted compared to, the premiere and the episode 1 and 2. Those episodes were intense and very violent. So it was good to take a step back at episode 3, more of a lighthearted episode, still dealing with drama, still dealing with serious issues, but definitely more lighthearted and more digestible compared to the first 2 episodes. Now, episode 4, man, something different. So let's just say this, man. Ray's got a peculiar best friend, if I may. Gary is very peculiar, man. The intro, or the opening scene in tonight's episode, was was something, man. It was something, Please don't take offense to anything that was said. It's pure comedy. It's black comedy. You know this by now. It's dry humor. It's it's punchlines. It's funny, man. If you can't laugh at that, something's wrong with you. Okay, but I just love the banter between Ray and Gary, man. The back and forth. They're hilarious. Gary is a nutball. He is crazy, man. As you'll see later on this episode, that guy has got some serious issues. Maybe this is a mental health episode as well. But no, Gary's funny, man. He's a funny guy, and you'll see that throughout this episode. Trust me, he brings the humor to the episode. But in comes the darkness, though, man. Ray's daughter, man, how old is she? Does anybody know? Feel free to comment. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like what you hear. But Ray's daughter, how old is she, man? Because she's acting like a grown-ass woman. This episode, she showed her ass, man. She showed her ass, and she, man, if she grew up in a black household, she would have got her ass beat for what she did in this episode, man. But, to each his own, man. Australians, they do it differently. And, Ray has definitely got he's having a hard time trying to be a single parent, man, and raising a daughter that's trying to grow into her own, man. It's really tough, and you see that big time in this episode. I want to know what y'all think about how he handled the situation with his daughter in this episode. Obviously, she fucked up big time, but what were some things that he did wrong? Because I know he did some things wrong too that could have been prevented, and he definitely could have handled the after the fact a lot better too, as being a parent. So I thought this was a very, very, interesting episode because you got to see the interaction between him and his daughter. Again, him being a single parent, the struggles that come with that, and a very serious issue that's relevant to what's going on today. I'm not trying to spoil anything. If you haven't seen the episode, go watch it. But, gun control is a big issue, right? As far as today is concerned. And I like how the issues that come up in the show reflect what's going on in present day. So, I kind of spoiled it for you, but I didn't. But just make sure you watch the episode, and I want to hear what y'all think about how he handled the situation. But his daughter has got a lot to learn, man. She's got a lot to learn, and hopefully she learned a lesson today. But the episode definitely gets darker towards the end, man. And you see Ray kind of reverting back to his old ways, man. Again, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it just gets dark, and him having to live that family life. You see a bit of both worlds, living the family life and then living the hitman life, and him having to do a job. And it comes up in the episode, it's like his happiness, I mean, of course we all do it for the money. All of us wake up every day, go to work, or, put on to get money so they can support themselves and their families. We do it for the money. If you're not doing it for the money, what are you doing it for, right? But, I think it's very important, a message that was kind of sent across that at least I got, is that, happiness is important and making money is important, but you can't put a price on happiness. And it sounds crazy because there's billionaires that are unhappy, but it's so true, man. If you're not happy with what you're doing, fuck the money, almost. And I think that's important. Man, you gotta be happy. Of course, you gotta make money. You gotta wake up every day to make money. And I know you gotta do some things that you don't want to do to get the results that you want, right? But, man, happiness is very important, man, because if you're waking up every day and doing something and you're not happy about it, in the long run, I feel like it's gonna do more damage than good. So just something to think about as y'all watch this episode. Think about your happiness, think about what are you doing it for, and think about, at the end of the day, is it worth it? Because I think there were a lot of great messages, as dark as they were, that were conveyed in this episode. And I love this episode. I hope y'all are watching Mr. Inbetween. It's one of my favorite shows on TV, man. And yeah, man, it's worth watching for sure, man. Like I said, it gets dark at the end. He kind of reverts back to his old ways. If y'all see the decision that he had to make at the end, I mean, the decision was already made, but it was just about how he was going to carry out that decision. And he kind of chose the high road, so to speak, if y'all caught that. So, he kind of reverted back to his old ways, right? So, again, let me know what y'all think, man. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'm going to keep checking in with y'all, telling y'all what's on my mind, and, telling y'all what Lloyd knows.